Welcome, everyone, to, our inaugural or pilot episode of the Savage Rune podcast. I'm your GM, Joe Davis. Welcome, everyone. We have a lovely group of players with us today. If we can go down the roster, Jeff, say hi to the audience.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Savage Rune, is what we are calling this podcast. Joe Davis, about 2 years ago, Joe started working with us, won an audition that we put out on a live call in Monster Interrupted, helped us launch our Outlaws of Elkinstar pod, and did a long cameo there for quite some time, and now has talked myself and several classic rollmongers into trying a new dice system where Piazo has gotten in bed with Savage Worlds, and my character sheet is unrecognizable, but I like it.
Oh, you'll learn to love it. Matt, next up. I'm just going down the roster.
Hey, everybody. It's a guy who's in a lot of shows, trying out a new system and very excited to do so.
Oh, thank you. And Ryan?
Hey, Joe. No, totally excited to try out this new system here, have some fun, make up some crazy and interesting stories that we'll remember hopefully for years to come.
Ideally. And Andrew.
Hey, Andrew here. I play a couple on Rollmongers. And yeah, excited to try out this new system. Seems pretty slick and fast, so.
We enjoy that here. All right, so let's just jump on in. It is sometime in mid-Rova of the year 4707 AR. Our party is currently in the small coastal town of Varisia, nestled in the lovely lost coast of the western Varisia heartlands. 30 miles north of Magnamar, this town is about 60 years old, or about 40 years old, sorry, lost track of time for a second. But today is a very important day, as our party is joining a special festival to inaugurate the opening of a brand new cathedral. So the town is busier than normal as well, just because of the festival. Normally the population is about 50, 60 or so that live in the town, but all the people from the surrounding heartlands have moved into the city for purposes of seeing the consecration of the new cathedral, and all sorts of adventurers from Magnamar, nobility from Magnamar, merchants have come setting up shop all around. The air is alive with the smells of various foods from various eateries, both in SandPoint and outside of SandPoint. Music plays in the streets everywhere. Children are running around enjoying themselves. One would not have thought that this was celebrating the closing chapter of a 5-year period of suffering known as the Late Unpleasantness. And as we begin our little adventure, let's meet our characters. We've already met the players, but let's meet our characters. Let's start with Dr. Alden Pierce. Why don't you tell us a little about yourself, Doctor?
You see a man wearing a hooded white robe, brown banding on it. Human, Chilaxian actually. And you see various tools at his waist belt, and he smells of sulfur and other really kind of pungent minerals if you get a little too close.
Fair.
And he's just kind of cruising along with a notebook open, paying particular attention to a pale individual and jotting down notes as he follows along.
That pale individual, Victor
Jarvis Madriv, if you please. I am an aristocrat of Ustalav, and I have weathered under the sun, thank you very much. I am not as pale as I once was. Victor is a Dhampir out of Ustalav, a vampiric mother who has a taste for, shall we say, aristocratic men, and has worked her way up the aristocratic food chain through marriage and sudden death. Though in the vampire world, sudden death is a good 30 years. They play the slow game. I was raised and became ambitious, arrogant, driven, and a bit of a troublemaker even by vampiric and Ustalavian standards. getting into my story of why I'm with these gentlemen comes up. But a man stands a proud 6 feet tall, wears fine riding crop leathers, long coats, all finely made and tooled, and have seen 2 nations worth of travel, if not 3 or 4 by this time. My once long mane of luxurious nobilic hair has been shaved by order of the doctor in a military short crop style, and my goatee is now turned into sort of a unshaven, roughneck, shall we say, common folk appearance, so that I might learn to live among the commoners and be brought down a peg. I thirst. It is a problem. And Dr. Victor has a serum that curves my urges, but never my personality.
Alton, not Victor.
Sorry?
Dr. Alton. Alton Pierce. Called me
Sorry,
Victor.
Doctor. I see my face in everyone. I'm so beautiful.
The ultimate narcissist.
Obviously, it's time for another dose. Maybe, perhaps you should not give me 2 at once, eh?
Let's move on to our Thalen. I believe it's Thalian.
Yeah, Thalian. Thalian Silverwind. He comes from the island of Mordant Spire in the Steaming Sea. So he has naturally light skin, light hair. Not exactly white, but verging on white, grayish. He usually has a quarterstaff with him. Usually when you kind of look at him, you can see a little bit of frost lingering around the quarterstaff, just slightly. He's around 6 feet tall, slender, and just has kind of an air of silence and, kind of quietly looking around.
Alrighty. And last but definitely not least, Warwick. Is your sharp-dressed friend out too?
Of course he is. Who else is going to carry my bags of shopping things? Me? What do I look like, a ruffian? You must be mistaken. I am Warwick von Vildemar II. Of a long line of deep negotiators from the River Kingdom. I come from a very prestigious family. Very prestigious because I was born to it. It's already a long-lived elf family, but I was born among an elf family. We do negotiating in the River Kingdoms, and to negotiate in the River Kingdoms, that is something that my father could tell you about and would bore you to tears. But I am here with my trusty companion, Ravan, also called my assistant. He takes all my notes and deals with all the things like poetry based. And also my lovely pooch, Lupin the Fourth, who does all the things that, I don't know what he does, but he does things and he stays around. It's very nice. And I like to see things like, is that a free drink over there? We are celebrating after we all, aren't we, Dr. Alton? We can celebrate.
Indeed. Although,
excellent.
Looking around at this teeny little town with this giant cathedral.
It is massive.
It does seem a little bit out of place here.
The SandPoint Cathedral does loom on the eastern edge of town, and it is to 5 separate deities.
That looks like an amazing stack of stones that I am going to pee on later.
It's like a conglomerate mega church.
I mean,
are the deities relevant in any of the structure, stained glass windows, any sort of, obvious symbolism?
Yes. Give me a moment, and I am going to see if I can't, share the image with you.
So it's not one of those vague mega churches.
No, all 5 of the churches of the SandPoint Cathedral do represent entity or gods that are predominantly worshipped within the city. And let me find that list real quick. I do know it is Abadar, the god of society and commerce. It is... Oh, crud. Some of these are escaping me. Desna, which is a very important Varisian god. Stars, roads, travel, that kind of thing. And then there is also, oh, crud, the stag god. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
Aristil.
Yes, Aristil. Thank you.
Well, I am a ranger. I enjoy the hunt, you know.
Right.
Big teethy smile.
Uh-huh.
He did state how pale I am. Victor looks incredibly human. There are only two features that set him apart from... He doesn't have pointy ears. He's not pale. He doesn't hang out in, Castlevania. One, unfortunately, everywhere anyone he looks directly at, he has very piercing gold eyes. Second, I try not to smile because, the canines are a little bit longer than supposed to.
Also, I was mistaken. The three that I have mentioned are correct: Abadar, Desna, and Aristil, but also Gazra, the god of nature, Sarenrae, the goddess of the sun, and Shaylin, the goddess of art and beauty. Another note about SandPoint that you can notice is there is a large tower that is, for lack of a better term, unfinished. There it is. That's trying to find the share button.
Unrelated note, what's the weather like right now? Is it
It's
sunny?
beautiful outside. It's actually very beautiful outside.
Okay, smoky goggles are on. Not just to hide my pretty pearly eyes, but I have a light sensitivity problem.
Did the image show up for y'all?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Excellent. So that is the skyline of Varisia. You guys are further back, harder to see where the actual cathedral is, but the large tower over off to the left edge of the picture is an old broken down tower known as the Old Light. You've probably heard some people talking about it, but that is one of the notable features of the city from a distance.
this looks amazing. Can we go find a pub and get drunk now?
So, fun fact, there's pubs that have stalls set up. One of the more popular ones is one known as the Rusty Dragon Inn. There is a great pale ale and a specialty of the restaurant, the curry smoked salmon.
Let us go to an establishment. I do not wish to partake of any drink on the street. Too many people around. I might be triggered.
D.
Very
I'm
well.
sure we could find a rat on the way if you were that thirsty.
Warwick, don't tease.
The proprietor of said establishment is there hawking her wares as well, just letting you know.
So we go? Please, Daddy? Can we go? Look at it, Thalen.
Warwick's already started meandering off in that direction.
Three talky guys, but I feel like Thalen's going to be our anchor man, It's like,
Yes, follow Warwick.
Yes, gentlemen, and remember, moderation.
So, as you get to the first tavern, which is the White Stag, it is closed. There's a sign on the door saying, "Come see our booth at the festival."
I timed the music just in time for you to say tavern, and I had to yank it because you said it's closed.
You'd have a record scratch in there.
Well, I'm not GMing, so I have too much time to do actual
Yes, I
music.
suppose we must partake in the festivities, gentlemen. Again, moderation. If we make
The Rusty
fools of
Dragon.
ourselves here, there'll be hell to pay.
Similar sign saying that come get some of our specialty curry smoked salmon at the festival booth.
Oh,
Just
don't
look at me when
worry.
you use those words. Hell and payment.
Oh, don't worry, friend. If we
Victor,
can run out of this...
It's
Yes.
time for your next dose. You seem to be getting a bit antsy.
He's
And,
not helping. Point at Ryan's guy. Warwick.
Dr. Pierce reaches into his robe and pulls out a little vial with a purplish, sparkly looking liquid and hands it over to you.
I try not to bounce on my toes. Turn away
Bottoms up.
from anyone looking and knock it back greedily, and then pull out the monogrammed handkerchief and dab. Thank you, Doctor. Give him back the vial.
When are you going to tell me what flavor that is?
Varisia. Big teethy smile. So I'm not tempted to taste the local. Shall we go?
Disturbing as always.
I keep my smile on Theowen as I walk away. At least I intimidate one of them. Yes!
Shall we, gentlemen? Pointing towards the
Festivities.
courtyard area.
This is
Meandering.
it. And boom, shared. Did you guys see it?
Yep.
Okay. This is a map of SandPoint, letting you kind of know where everything is in town. You guys currently have made it back to the area in front of the cathedral, between the jeweler and the cathedral. Yeah, that's the town. Most of the stuff is here in the town square in front of the cathedral as well. There's people all over the place doing different things, but the market isn't open currently. The courtyard in front of the cathedral is where all the happenings is going on, as well as the occasional shop stall in the road nearby, but they're all kind of centered around there. The music is bumping. The people are out and about, and stepping up to the microphone is a gentleman wearing an orange coat, chain shirt, neck piece, and a chain helm. He seems to be of Ashanti descent, but he steps up to the podium and with a booming voice is, "People of SandPoint, welcome to this special Swallowtail Festival. We do hold this yearly, but this one is of a special importance more than ever. We all remember the late unpleasantness of the past 5 years and the damage it's done to our community. At that point, you do see some of the people in town like take their hats off, or they'll be like, they'll nod their head like, yeah, it's been rough. But with the consecration of our glorious cathedral later this afternoon, then just maybe we can move on and let the healing fully begin. Let us take a moment to remember those that were lost at the hands of the chopper and the great fire and the earthquake and the other horrific events of that terrible month 5 years ago." And you could almost hear a pin drop, like the seagulls stop making sounds. That's pretty respectful for seagulls. With that, Belor shakes his head. "Now, let the festivities go into full swing. Lunch will begin in an hour, and then later this afternoon, the consecration. Enjoy yourself, and have a great day here at the Swallowtail Festival." And with that, people go about their business. The games start going too, if people want to partake in some games.
Oh, hi.
But we didn't,
Plan to.
but we didn't come here 5 years ago. It seemed much more lively then.
Well, no. Then they wouldn't have their tragedy and then praying to their invisible father figures that are non-existent in their life. Oh, I'm sorry. No offense intended.
Not at all. Project all you want. So, gentlemen, since I've already eaten, shall we?
Are y'all going to, what's the plan? Are you going to just shop? You going to play some games? You going to, what are we doing?
Are
Well,
we
to do
teaching
something.
Warwick how to speak Varisian? Wander around.
At this point, no one's being paid attention. Warwick now has a bottle of wine. Say, look, Varisian, the good stuff. This is amazing. Does anyone want to try some?
I'll pass. Thank you.
Oh, thank God! I didn't want to share it.
No, I'm doing quite fine, thank you. Victor, I suggest you attempt some of the games, interacting with the locals. Try and improve your vocabulary.
Resist your temptations.
I speak perfect Varisian. If anyone needs to improve their vocabulary, it's Warwick, the bottle thief.
I'm working. I paid for that. Well, sorry, Raven paid for that. Raven, can you please pour me a glass of that? As I hand the bottle to him so he can pour me a glass.
Does he actually carry your like coin purse?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I just thought I thought you carried your own money and the guy has like no purse, but you're just claiming your servant paid for it. So, gentlemen.
As you move around, can I get everyone to give me a notice roll? You don't have to roll this in the tower. So, as we're rolling right now, just a heads up on how this works.
I got a 13.
3.
Warwick, you need to make sure you roll your notice, not your wolf's notice.
Yeah, I'm doing that intentionally. I'm looking for mine.
Got it. Okay, so as a quick note of how this works with the game system, for those listening at home that have never played Savage Worlds before, don't know anything about it. Unlike a D&D game or D20 game like Pathfinder, D&D, whatever, where you roll and just simply add a stat. Your stats and skills are your dice. So in this game, you roll, let's say, for example, Dr. Alton Pierce has a D8 for your notice skill. Am I correct?
Yes, I do.
Then you roll the D8 and you roll what's called a wild die, and you choose the best of those two dice. In this case, you rolled really well. You rolled above an 8. When something rolls its max amount, it aces or explodes. You re-roll and add again. So Dr. Alton got a total of a 13 on a D8 plus 2, which is crazy good.
Yes, it is.
And typically, to pass, if it's not an opposed roll, you just have to hit a target number 4. And for every 4 you roll above that 4, you get a raise. Usually something's a little better. So I believe Dr. Pierce and Warwick both passed, as you notice a small child attempting to pick Dr. Pierce's pocket. A small human child.
So this is why I only ended up with the wild dice, because it says I got a natural 1 and didn't even post it and just went with the wild dice on the D6 and gave me a...
Correct. Fantasy Grounds just tells you rolls or shows which one was the good die.
The good stuff. That's how Warwick gets an 8 on a D6 because it exploded.
Right.
Cool.
So what you gonna do, Dr. Pierce? You and Warwick notice a child trying to pick your pocket.
I will, and Lupin just leaps to attention.
Excuse me, lad. I'd be careful around my pockets if I were you.
He seems a bit shocked and bolts. It was just a simple test. I wanted to see if maybe we were going to lose anything, and we didn't.
Dr. Alton, if you want, Lupin does need to get his zoomies out.
Oh. It's fine. You have to expect it in a backwater town like this.
Indeed.
But do be on guard, gentlemen.
Walter, do you have any idea the ancient history of this place? Why, it is rumored... What do I roll for common knowledge?
Well, you can, if you have, let me look at your skill set real quick. You can use common knowledge if you'd like. If you happen to have, there is another skill that would work for it. Academics, that would work as well.
Something underhanded.
You could roll occult.
Okay. 10. If I may. It is rumored that the ancient Runelords themselves had academic and, shall we say, untidy practices of experimentation and flesh warping under these very grounds. The entire town was a waypoint, and before it bustled into this little village of celebration, the catacombs that lie beneath your feet have much more bones of history in the arcane and occult arts than you will ever achieve in your so-called career, Doctor.
Dr. Alton with his Dr. Pierce with his mighty two. It's like, I've never heard that before. Right down in his little notebook, just word for
Victor's
word.
so frustrated that he ignores the insult and is happy that I just gave him knowledge. So it's kind of like point for him, and I screwed up.
Oh, you're supposed to be insult.
Yeah, he was supposed to show him how much smarter I am, and he's like, "Oh, that's great." He writes it down. I'm like, "Ah."
I thought about this for 15 minutes. God damn it!
Victor, with your great occult over there. All right, so you get to the midway where the games are, and there's a handful of what you would expect for carnival games. There's a dunking booth. There is one of those like hit the mallet or use the mallet to hit strength test. There's like a pie eating contest. And
I'll do the strength test.
Okay.
I will show these people who is yes. If I must mingle, Doctor, run over.
Okay.
Oh.
So there is a large man with a massive mallet standing next to it. He's like, "You want to play game, little man?"
Yes, Carpenter. Let me borrow your hammer.
It, like shoves the hammer in your hands. Okay, Jeff, give me a strength check.
Hang on. Examine the mallet. Make sure that this isn't rigged. I want to make sure it isn't like rigged to crack or it's far, like the actual head is hollow or some shit, I know what the carnies are. Yustalaf is full of them and have Parisian blood, It
is a very solid earthbreaker, Shaunty.
While he's looking and inspecting at it, it's a hammer. You hit things with it.
Some kids nearby eating some salmon on a stick laugh.
Mutter to myself, this is why he went for the cheap wine. He takes no time to examine anything. So, if I'm happy, swing! Batter. So what, just strength?
Give me a strength roll.
Yeah. D8 plus.
Oh, nice.
Exploding D6s.
Okay.
11.
You crack it center point really hard on the receptacle. Thing swings, or the little the little indicator goes straight up, hits the bell. Ding!
Go.
Congratulations, you hit the bell. He hands you a small stuffed, weird-looking horse creature with wings.
What is this?
He's the SandPoint devil.
You're kidding, right?
Get out of here.
Just I keep my plushie though. Just walk away looking at it, turning it over.
Very
Congratulations
nice,
on the
Victor.
child's toy.
Perhaps I should have a try. He walks up to the hammer, reaches into his robe, pulls out a vial.
Oh no.
Drinks it.
Performance-enhancing drugs.
Do you drink this in the open for everyone to see? Give me a minute here while I.
Of course.
We're all
And
drinking.
suddenly, almost instantaneously, the robe itself kind of goes, and my shoulders become a little broader under the loose-fitting cloak. And it's a mutagen that gives me +2 to strength and melee damage, but -2 on academics, common knowledge, occult, repair, science, and arcane skill rolls for 1 hour.
So
Show off.
You'll
I
want to
slap
do
the
the
toy
+2.
into Warwick's gut with a squeak. Show off.
It also increases my toughness by 1.
Right. You're going to want to increase in the modifier thing, just do +2. Because honestly, I haven't figured out how to make mutagens work in Savage Worlds Pathfinder yet.
So, strength, right?
Yep.
5.
You send it up and it almost hits the bell, or it does, it like just goes tink, and slides back down. And he's like, congratulations, you get this thing. And he hands you a small stuffed. It's another stuffed critter, but it's a small green, gigantic football-headed shaped, like dolly.
Oh, okay.
You recognize it very quickly as a crude attempt at making a goblin stuffed toy.
Thank you, sir. He tucks it into his sleeve.
Anyone else gonna come fleece me today? No.
No,
And
thank
if
you.
anyone's paying attention, I'm now playing with Lupin with my new squeaky toy. Who's a good boy? Who was the new squishy thingy? Who's a good boy?
Lean into Theowen, like he said, for children. Quietly. Gave it to the child.
So
Everybody's out for their egos.
with that, fireworks explode in the distance. It's been some time of you guys wandering and looking around, and it's now lunch. The spread is delicious with samplings from every restaurant and known chef in the city. The hagfish, the white deer or the white stag, the rusty dragon, they all have showings here, such as the spiced venison sausage. The hagfish has a delightful clam chowder or lobster chowder. And they already mentioned spiced salmon, the curry spiced salmon, along with a mixture of ales and wines from all over, massive feast tables, everyone's sitting at having food. It's very family style, very much. Everyone's having a good time. People will ask you guys questions. So, you know, like Dr. Pierce, for example, will start some older gentleman. Oh, you have the bearings of an academic. Are you from Corvosa? Maybe Magnima?
No, sir. I hail from... Oh, no, I have to go to my notes. The Bastard University in Ustla.
Oh, you've traveled quite far. Well, then I can safely say that I as an expert of local culture, my name is Psydoc Drokus. I am the proprietor of the local theater here, so to speak. But I was once a well-known, very famous thespian in Magnima until I was rudely kicked out for, let's say, political satire. You plan to stay in Varisia long?
Probably.
Oh, exciting. Well, I hope you find our small little backwater charming.
Indeed. It's quite quaint.
Quaint is a very polite way to put it.
And so just real quick, what's this guy's name?
Psydark Drokus. And I will find his spelling.
Put down Sidrock Dotus.
Hopefully Drew is keeping notes.
Not all the names.
Also known as Art Dude.
There you go. Art dude.
I'm going to put his wiki link in there for you. It's Sidrak, my bad.
Sidrak.
Seardak? I don't know. Names. I get it. I get why Jeff butchers names every so often.
Seardak. Yeah, that's what I would say it is.
Jeff, a concerned-looking gentleman sits across from you. He is... I don't have a picture, or I didn't have a picture of the other one, but I have a picture of this guy. He is an older gentleman, and he seems kind of concerned as he looks at you. He's got a little bit of a beard, short brown hair. He's wearing the outfit of a certain religious deity. Give me a... If you have... You could do a
Common
cult for
knowledge
this.
or
You could do common
cult?
knowledge or a cult. Your choice.
The common knowledge. 9
Dang.
exploding dice.
I got 5.
So, and Dr. Alton
Priests
is
are the
also
bad
paying
men.
attention.
Mommy told me don't talk to the bad men. They're priests. They don't like undead.
So,
It's going to turn me.
This man is a not only a follower of the goddess Desna, but is actually a high priest of Desna. He looks at you for a moment. He's like, "You have the bearings of a blood drinker, but you're out in the sun and not catching fire, so I can assume you're not undead."
Slowly raise an eyebrow.
Good
Lean
day,
over.
sir.
Put
Good day, sir. Dr.
two hands up.
Pierce.
Put two hands up and hide my mouth so he can't see the fangs, and just mumble something about, appearances can be deceiving.
And at that
And then
exact
I give the
moment, I
doctor
step
the
in
secret
between
signal.
them.
Yeah. I give the doctor the signal, right?
Safe
Doc.
word.
Well, hello there. Dr. Alton Pierce at your service. And you might be.
Oh, I'm Father Absalar Xantus. I'm the current high priest of this town. I just was concerned. Is your friend Dhampir? We've had a
Step
few
away. Just like-
we've had a few come through town in the past, and they're just like any other folk. I just wanted to make sure that's what I was experiencing here.
As soon as he locks eyes on the doc, man, stealth, just gone in the crowd.
And so the doctor leans in very close to him. May I be frank with you,
Absolutely.
Your Holiness? I'm here on a research grant from the University of Lepperstad.
Oh, of science.
I'm currently working on an elixir that is specifically designed to tame the bloodthirst of the tainted ones.
Well, I wouldn't call them tainted. Parentage aside, we are all as we are made by the heavens and the celestial orders.
Yes, Father. Of course.
But I just wanted to make sure that he has nothing to fear from me. I'm not going to be hunting down, Dhampir in the night.
Thank you very much, sir. I'll be sure to tell him. It should set his mind at ease.
Please feel free to come by the cathedral once it's opened. That way we can provide you with a tour. If you're a man of science, I'm sure the architecture alone would be interesting.
Of course. I appreciate the invitation, and I shall take you upon it.
Excellent. Thalion, there is a child sitting across from you that has not stopped staring at you this whole time.
When I notice him, I'll stare back at him and say nothing.
Do you know Shalelu?
As a language?
No, he obviously means it as like a name.
Oh, he's talking to me.
Yeah.
I just continue to stare at him for a while and then go, no.
Oh, okay. I told you he didn't know her. And he runs off with another kid, carrying his plate of food.
Odd child. This whole place is kind of odd. Now, where'd that pale one go?
I got a quick question.
Yes.
We're kind of fixed on a couple of details of clothing and appearance. You guys are both elves? Warwick and Thalion?
Yeah, I'm an elf.
Yes, but I'm the better elf.
Okay,
He's the half-elf.
Guessing your age is sort of redundant then.
I'm a, for an elf, youngish, 120.
Can you give that to us in terms?
Like 20. He's like 20.
Yeah, it's just past adulthood, so probably early
20
20s.
summers. Yeah, okay. And Dr. Pierce?
Dr. Pierce is 31.
Okay.
So, the beginning of the downslide turn.
Ouch. Ouch. Now, Warwick, a middle-aged woman is sitting across from you. And she seems to be talking with random people as they come by. And then after she's done talking, she takes a bite of a sandwich that she has and notices, like, I've never seen a dog sit at a table like that.
Are you referring to Lupin or Raven?
The one that's
People
actually
confused.
sitting up at the table, drinking mead.
Oh, that's Raven. He's a scamp. He can be at times. Isn't that right, Raven? He does talk too much, but yes.
He's definitely interesting. It was not a criticism. What kind of breed is he?
Raven. Raven is Raven.
So like a mutt?
No, that would be more like Lupin over here. Lupin, say hi, boy. And he hops up with the squeaky toy in his mouth. Hi. Lupin. Lupin doesn't know who his father is. So that would define him then as a mutt. The layman term for mutt being a mixed breed of different interspecies of the.
I gathered. I knew what a mutt was when I asked. That's why I asked if the one has opposable thumbs. You know what? It's not important. I hope you're enjoying the festival. I'm assuming
I am.
Excellent. You are you from
Was
around one of the nearby towns?
No, nowhere even near here. My family is highborn from you may have heard this plan, the River Kingdoms.
Okay, you're one of the rivers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
You have traveled a great
Yes.
distance.
High upstream. Yes, we have. Yeah, responsibility chases me fiercely.
Excellent.
No,
what brings
that's
you?
bad.
Well, I mean,
Responsibility.
the fact that you're here is excellent.
Yes.
Because
I'm working on learning Varisian, as far as my father knows.
Oh, well, one moment.
The local brand here is fantastic, I must say. The
Well-
stout ale. Very stout and ale-y.
The lady says something in a language that you don't understand, but
Not in the slightest.
literally everyone else at the table does.
Yeah.
She looks at you, she's like, I said I hope you have a lovely time.
Oh, thank you. I do too.
She kind of just,
Completely missing the lesson. Yeah. So good.
Question for you, ma'am.
oh yes.
You see that young vixen over there who's serving the drinks?
Which one?
The brunette.
I know of a few brunettes here. Are you talking about Amiko?
That one. Any points?
Just randomly?
Yes, randomly.
In the red?
Yes. Very astute.
That's Amiko. She is the proprietor of the Rusty Dragon.
Ah, Amiko. Thank you. Oh, and for your time and energies here, I slide a gold coin across the table. There you go, Papa friend.
That's not necessary.
It's fine. It's all right. I like to enrich those around me.
I'm the mayor. I'm just kind of doing my job. Thank you.
So am I. The Riverland sends much thanks. And I'll push another one over.
She rolls her eyes deeply and takes the coin. And if everyone else watching this can give me a notice real quick.
Oh,
if you want to as well,
from Ryan.
What?
Is that you're part of my family intimidation mafia role there, Ryan? Like this.
Ooh, 15. I'm so alert.
5.
Anyone who gets a 4 or better is good enough. She literally drops it in the donation box as she walks away.
The nuns faint. Oh, too cold.
Oh my god. So after lunch, some more fun shenanigans ensue when everyone reconvenes at the center in front of the tavern, or in front of the cathedral, and the priest from earlier, Father Abstelar Xantus, steps up to I'm going to share his image again just because I can. It steps up to the podium. Again, we give thanks for those that have made this day possible. Desna for the lovely sky, the stars that light our night. Abadar for the coin that helped build the cathedral behind us, and to bring those from Magnamar that gave us the skills to build it. Aristil for the community that brought us together and helped us survive these past years. Shaylin for the artistry that goes into the beauty behind me. Gozra for the bounty that gives us the stone and the glass needed to build this beautiful cathedral. And Sarenrae for this beautiful sunny day amongst us. May all 6 of you be welcome in our homes, in our hearts and in our minds. And with that, let us commence the Swallowtail release. And he raises his hand, and some noviettes behind him open up some boxes, and a bunch of beautiful butterflies fly into the air. As you can hear a woman scream in the distance, and the craven sounds of singing start filtering throughout the area. As people begin screaming and emergency bells begin to ring, you notice off to the side that some small creatures are emerging and burning and attacking everyone around them. And they're pretty easily recognizable. You got a stuffed one in your hand, Doc. They're goblins.
Oh, my.
We are going to start our first combat. Everyone excited?
Oh, I thought everyone was just being dramatic at first, but apparently they have a reason.
Very good reason.
Not the play they are putting on Jovenfool. The city is under attack.
I thought it was the birds.
Why do birds suddenly appear?
Is this a crossover? Is that Lowbrick?
No, he doesn't have any antlers.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It was the skull cod piece.
Exactly. Make sure I share the map with everyone. Everyone see the map?
Do now.
Excellent. Let me get the combat tracker going. Boom. Dealt to all.
Yes.
All right. Dr. Pierce, you're first up. So we are in combat as it works for Savage Worlds. We deal cards for combat. Granted, we're doing Fantasy Ground, so it kind of does it automatically for us. You and another character, or you have you've drawn an ace, so you can technically opt to go first if you want to, or you can wait and go interrupt someone else's turn.
So right after Dr. Pierce says, "Oh my," he reaches into his robe, pulls out a little vial, grabs a bit of moss, tucks it in, reaches around to the front of Victor, and dumps it down his throat as a counteracting agent to the sedative he gives him.
Okay.
I think we're going to need you at top form, my friend.
Mm-hmm. And we'll say that's a free thing. You don't have to spend an action to do that. Because that's a roleplay thing y'all are doing. I'm cool with that.
There are drawbacks and advantages to me imbibing certain things that I would like to take on the character as he levels and evolves, and have this more dice related, not just flavor. Just so
okay.
You know.
And we can explore that. I haven't.
Get into that.
And
Yeah.
then while I've still got my kit open, I grab another vial,
Okay.
start shoving components in, cork it, shake it, and I lob a alchemist bomb
Okay.
at Goblin 1.
Make sure to draw the small. I believe it's going to hit all three of them if you hit
Yeah,
one.
I think it is too. I should. So here we go. With an 8. Oh, a hit with a raise. I got a raise.
Yep, that-
Nice.
absolutely hits. And go. Okay, so roll your damage. Because you got an extra damage die for it.
Yep. 9 points of damage.
Well then.
And
roll the
then,
next damage.
Oh, I have to roll individually?
Yeah, I believe so, because it's not letting me auto do it.
All right. Oh.
Dang.
14 damage.
Yep.
I believe the term is kaboom.
One more.
Oh, damn. Oh, damn.
Oh, dang. That was close.
20 damage. Oh.
So, you know that food table that was there?
Yeah.
Like as the bomb explodes, knocking out all three goblins, knocking them flat cold, beans and other produce shower the area.
Not even cool guys wanted to look at this explosion.
No.
Oh my.
And with that, we some more goblins enter the scene. 1 second.
Unlike most of our shows, we will not be mansplaining most of the jokes. If you know, then you know.
All right, so to the southwest of the party, three more goblins have emerged into the area. One of them is already singing a weird little song. Actually, he's going to go ahead and do an action because he has an ace and he can. The goblin behind the other two to the southeast of you, the one that's singing, has a strange little... Where are these thingies?
It's like Jurassic
is.
Park, so much screaming and run.
He is going to, seeing you are the one that that did this. The
Oh, they're attacking.
goblin, yeah, the goblin war chanter is attacking. He's doing a thing.
Oh no.
He is singing his little song as best he can. Make sure he can actually hit you with this. He may need to move first.
It's a smash and bash song.
Do. Yeah, he does. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the Goblin War Chanter, as he's one to be called himself, meanders on out and points at the doctor and wiggles his little goblin fingers and is casting a spell. Oh no.
Oh no.
So if you let's see, he is casting a, you can give me an occult roll to see what he's casting, or
I'm not
Feed-
trained in occultism.
you have
How do you
what-
feel,
you
Doctor?
could do your arcane spell, your arcane skill.
My alchemy skill?
Yeah, that will work for me.
5.
He is casting a transmutation spell or necromancy powered spell known as lower trait.
Yuck.
and he's making you a little more clumsy.
He's making it tipsy.
Like everybody in the club. And he got a raise. So let me see if I can apply it real quick. Let's see. So it's lowering a trait. Let me see if it does. Did not itself. Your agility.
What's your current agility dice, man?
It's a D6.
D6, yeah.
Oh, okay. So it's going to suck if he makes it a D4.
He's making it a D4 minus 1.
Yep.
Oh.
I'm just trying to figure out how to do that. Apologies for the delay, both viewers and players.
Can we cheat and just have him drag a D4 into the stat for now? And have him put -1 the modifier?
Yeah, we can probably do that. I mean, I can also hard do it, but I just didn't want to have to go back and fix it also afterwards.
He wants it to apply as a debuff.
Yeah. And I've added the debuff. Well, okay, you know what? You get a free spirit trait to shake it off at the beginning of your turn, so we'll address the stat debuff if we need to when we come to it. All right, so that's its turn. Thalion.
I'm not much one for his singing.
Most aren't.
I will take a step over to the west to get a better shot at him.
Okay.
And I will cast Bolt. As my quarterstaff starts to get incredibly frosty, a chunk of the ice flows off and attempts to hit this war chanter.
Nice. Oh, dang.
For a 9.
That definitely hits.
And damage of 15.
That is going to hit. So he, as an NPC, does have bennies. He's going to roll one to soak. He will successfully soak the damage.
Very well.
Right. Victor.
Okay. So, off the potion, little Prozac volume has been countered with adrenaline or something. Is that what I'm taking? I'm off my meds.
A little bit.
Cocaine!
Yes.
That's how you ingested it so fast.
All right. Well then, I draw my family bastard sword.
Okay.
So that I am armed, but I would like to take a minute to take in the entire battlefield.
So there are currently 3 goblins that you can see. Okay. 3 goblins that you can see conscious, 3 more to the north that are unconscious and burning currently. I assume your bombs are fired, Doctor?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. You hear goblins everywhere, though. They're singing throughout the city. So it's probably a matter of time before more join the fight in this area. There's also a bunch of people screaming and running. You do see down some of the streets that you can get an angle on. Goblins are being fought by some of the town militia. But it's not like it's a massive warfare. This is a goblin raid, so it's not quite, orchestrated, militarized soldiers easily attacking a city.
I didn't get a chance to know that the guy eyeballing me was a priest. I didn't get a chance to meet the mayor or the kid. The only person I met that was important was watching the 2 guys that gave speeches.
Right.
Okay. Do I see either one of them?
The guy that you met that was the priest that you ran off from, he's the one who gave the second speech.
So I put that together? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Didn't want to assume.
No, you're good. And then the first guy who gave a speech in the morning, you don't see him around anywhere.
Okay. If I can see the priest, I will call out to Warwick. Warwick, protect the founders! Pointing at anyone important that I can see, and I rush the closest goblins.
Okay.
Because I'm vanguard and, you know.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Frontline fighting.
Yeah. But tactically, you know, hopefully somebody, well, maybe not Warwick, I'll just say gentlemen, you know, closest allies, protect the founders.
Fair.
Because it's good cred for us, right? And heroically rush the goblins.
Headlong into a fight with goblins.
What kind of movement do I get?
So you should have a pace of 4 currently. You would normally have better, but you are a little encumbered due to the amount of crap you're carrying around. Now, if you're not supposed to be carrying as much as you're carrying, you can go ahead and shed some of that gear.
I tried earlier, but nothing really came down. 80 became 77, and I dropped all kinds of stuff.
Let's see. Let's go ahead and drop your crowbar.
Fine.
Your water skin. I mean, you can have them still. We're just temporarily.
They're in your backpack that you put on the ground.
Right, or they're
actually, yeah, that's a great idea. I shed my pack because we're traveling, right? So there's the gear. Yeah, there you go. Awesome, Matt. Yeah. So step 1, shed the backpack, which has, you know, all the cumbersome shit, bedroll, food, all that crap. Draw the sword, shed the pack.
Awesome. So now you're good. You have a pace of 6, so you can move up to 6 inches, 6 squares roughly. You don't have to land inside of a square when you're done.
How diagonal work on this?
It'll tell you when you go to move, like how much space, how much is the arrow going?
Just give me free reign here.
Okay. Thought it did that earlier.
So,
yep.
Right. So, pull
as
my
you
guy
move.
to.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Gives me 3, and I can get to them.
Yep. There you go. And
awesome.
You do have an
too many actions? Like
nope,
kind of a free quaff, drop the pack, pull the sword. It's a lot.
For now, the quaff is still going to be free because it's not really providing you with any benefit or drawback. It's just story. And dropping your pack. I was even going to say if you wanted to leave your pack at whatever inn y'all were staying at, that's fine too. Because, you know, why carry
I thought the taverns and inns were closed. We hadn't really covered that. I thought we were literally just kind of...
They are for now, but that doesn't mean you weren't staying at somewhere overnight nearby.
Oh, okay. I thought we were a quick retreat band. You know, guys, keep your gear on you. You know? Time to skip town again.
If that's how you operate. That's fine. I'm just saying that's an option.
Okay.
But if you had your stuff, dropping the pack, I'm not gonna make it an action to
draw a sword as an action and move up.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that you can get to them and still make an attack.
Okay. Just want to, don't want to meta the crap out of this.
I understand.
Okay. Right. So, how do I target somebody in this?
I believe it's control, and then click on the person you want to target. Now, before you attack, you can do multi-attacks, multi-actions. And this goes for any of you. You can opt to announce, like, I want to do two actions before I act. If you do, you have a -2 penalty to both actions. This goes for spell casting, attacking, or even if you want to attack and cast a spell. So it's just as a heads up. On Fantasy Grounds, see the little 1 action thing down by the penalty and where the dice are and stuff like that? If you click it, it becomes 2 action or 3 action or back around to 1 action. So just as a heads up.
And the penalty to each additional action is what? How much?
It's not each additional, it's all actions. So if you decide you're going to do two actions or 2 attacks, it's -2 to each one.
Oh, I see. I don't want to show off. I want to fight efficiently for right now. So, because you're being way generous. I'm calling out tactics. I'm drinking while so one arm's got the pack going down, the bottle's going in while I'm glugging through, going, guys, do this, and then pull the sword and rush the goblin. So I'm not going to do a big arc. Okay, so fighting is what I want, right? Click on my fighting skill.
Correct.
Okay, that's a D8, boys. This is why you keep me around.
That's a hit. Roll your damage.
That's a natural one, but.
But your wild die.
Yeah, I know. Thanks to wild dice. Keep saving me. Sword. I just click the 2d8 there?
Yep, you're good.
7.
Let's see. He does not have bennies because he's just a little guy. And he is incapacitated.
Sweet.
No, he's shaken. He's shaken. So he's fine. He just is shaken. Is that the end of your actions? Excellent. All right. That one is out. Warwick.
Excellent. First, Lupin the Fourth. Do you remember that lady in red? Go find her. Make sure she stays safe for me. Thank you. Pet, pet, pet. Secondly, Raven. Make sure nothing touches me. You know how I feel getting touched when I don't want it, and not in that way. If anything comes within a certain radius, you know the number, smoosh it.
And then I'm putting Raven in the field too, because they were supposed to be there.
But they weren't. It's okay. I was buying time. And
You unleash the dogs of war?
Yes, I love puppies. Puppies are the best.
So Lupin.
They know
too.
what? They know who the alpha is.
All right, so you have issued commands to your followers. What you doing, bud?
Well, I'm assessing the scenario, looking around and seeing that our grave friend is engaged with the little green ones. The good doctor has taken care of the ones in the north. Could I delay my act? Wait, you know what? I have a little cantrippy thingy that does stuff. I will take a minor bolt. And there's a war chanter. He's singing a song, and it's an evil song. It's a gaudy song. Not the good kind of gaudy, just a bad kind of gaudy.
Fair.
I would like to hit him with a minor bolt.
Make sure to
And I would like
target
to summon a mannequin foot and shove it in his mouth. No, minor bolt, go! Control left click, I'm assuming, makes me target still? Yep, I think it did. And then I just roll, I think. Okay. I see dice flying around. I'm not sure what's happening here. Hey! I got 11 damage.
All right. He's also going to try and soak this.
Okay.
He did not. Wait, no, he soaked one. He did so. My bad.
No, that's cool. So soaking. So I did 11 damage.
Well, you would have done 11 damage. So
Okay.
the way it works, damage is calculated just like attacks in 4s. You have to first overcome their toughness, and then second, for every 4 that you overcome their toughness, every raise over their toughness, you do a point of damage. So you rolled 11. His toughness is a 6.
Right.
You only got 1. You hit it and then got a raise over, and he was able to drop it back down.
Okay. Gotcha. That's fair. And I understanding the learning happens.
Right.
All right. So I told my peeps what to do. We'll call that an action, a thingy. I did I threw a mannequin boot in his foot. It literally. So the way it appears, the way that Warwick does magic, is that arithmetic and geometry appears around him, and then the thing happens. So in this case, is a mannequin foot literally appeared in front of him and then just telemetry shot straight at the goblin. I was imagining it in his mouth, but I was off by a bit and kind of booped him in the chest instead of where I really wanted it to go. So action economy wise, where does that leave me?
You have done a regular action and a movement, or you haven't done movement. You can move if you want to.
I will stay. I will deny my movement action.
Alrighty. Then moving on. Okay.
But Lupin should totally use his move action.
The goblin that was shaken by you with your sword strike has his shaken removed. When a creature is shaken, they get a check at the beginning of their turn. If they pass their spirit check, the shaken is removed. It is going to target you and attempt to smack you with its little weapon. Actually, he's going to try and swipe at you with his little torch. He does not. Poorly, actually. He rolled a 1. So he flings the torch, flies by your legs, Victor, and lands in the dirt behind you, snuffing out. And the goblin's just like throws his hands up in frustration. As the other goblins nearby, the war chanter and the other goblin with the torch, point and laugh at him incessantly.
I love how you do the action. 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's a podcast. Then tell me what he does.
Right. I'm still, it's the first time doing this.
It's all good. It's all good. Man.
So that goblin has gone. It's the other goblin with a torch. He shouts in goblin. Let me see if I can have this work. Is it here? Is it here? It's here. The goblin shouts almost while laughing and takes a swing at Victor as well with his torch. And if he misses, I'm going to find it to be the funniest thing ever. Oh no, he does hit, actually.
Do I have a chance to parry, shrug that off, anything like that?
So your parry is handled automatically by the weapon and your skill and all that jazz. Now the chance you have to shrug it off is if he deals damage to you, then you can spend a Benny to soak. And that basically is like, I'm not getting hit with this. But he didn't even do enough damage to bypass your toughness. He literally took a swing at you and it bounced off your armor.
Are all my weapons automatically equipped?
Yes.
As far as fancy ground goes? Because I noticed they're not in the inventory.
If you look at your inventory...
Yeah, there are tabs for weapons and armor and stuff.
So... he's like, let me show you how this is done, and swings and it just bounces off your armor. He does nothing to you.
I've got the chain t-shirt, chainmail shirt that just comes down over the mid thigh, like crotch a little bit, and has like the t-shirt sleeves that come down a little bit, and it's kind of covered by the big leather coat, and but there's the peaking around the neck, and people are gonna know I'm wearing armor, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, I want them to. I don't want to look unarmed and unarmored, but
also armor is expensive. It's a form of status. Yeah. And with the end of round 1, we'll see you next time.